And I promised myself I wouldn't cry.
No,
But it's hard not to.
it's hard not to.
Now I know why you put the tissues there.
Actor Scarlett Johansson knew that her mother's roots stretched back to Jewish communities in Eastern Europe, but the story of those roots had been lost. We set out to recover those stories and focused on Scarlett's great-grandfather, a man named Saul Schlomberg. Saul immigrated to America in 1910 when he was just 24 years old. He arrived alone with almost no money. Soon he found himself on New York's Lower East Side working in a grocery where he sold bananas, leading Scarlett to wonder about the world her great-grandfather had left behind.
I can only imagine that he was coming from a place where he could not continue to survive. I mean, I think he must have come from some broken place, which would have caused him to go on a journey like this by himself with no security on the other side.
Nothing.
Nothing.
I mean, total.
That's the real immigrant story.
It is.
You know, just
Yeah.
the promise of some opportunity and the faith that you're gonna make it on the other side.
Saul's arrival record indicated he was born in a town called Grujec, which is now part of Poland. Scarlett had never heard of the town, but her family has a deep and tragic connection to it because when Saul left, his brother Moshe stayed behind, a decision that would have disastrous consequences. On September 1st, 1939, Hitler's armies invaded Poland. By late February 1942, almost all of Grujec's Jewish residents had been killed or transported to the infamous Warsaw Ghetto. Moshe was about 60 years old at the time. He and his wife had 10 children.
The youngest, Zlata, was about 14.
Wow. That's crazy.
What do you think that must have been like for them to be loaded onto trains like cattle and not knowing where they were going?
And losing each other and everything. I mean, you hear stories about men and women and children all being separated, and that was it, you know, never see the other person again. I cannot imagine what you must be feeling. Just hell. It must have been hell.
At its height, over 400,000 people were forced to live in the Warsaw Ghetto, an area less than 2 square miles. Dozens of people died each day of starvation and disease. Those who endured faced deportation to extermination camps. We wondered what happened to Scarlett's family. We found the answer in a testament submitted to Israel's Holocaust Museum by a woman named Miriam Margalith. Miriam was one of Moshek's daughters.
Family name, Schlamberg. First name, Moishe. Wartime location, Warsaw Ghetto. Circumstance, time, and place of death unknown. Children's names under the age of 18 that perished. Zlata, age 15, time and place of death, Warsaw Ghetto. Mondel, age 17, time and place of death, Warsaw Ghetto. Wow. That's sad. Sorry. That is crazy. It's crazy to imagine that Saul would be on the other side selling bananas
Oh, yeah.
on Ludlow Street.
Yep.
And how different it would be being in America at that time. The fate of one brother versus the other.
Yep.
It makes me feel more deeply connected to that side of myself, that side of my family. I didn't expect that.
Retrieving lost stories can be an act of restoration, not only of our ancestors' resilience, but of the resilience of the entire human community. To see more incredible stories, click here and watch the next video.